Yeah, so alien shipping containers. Thoughts?
I don't
Eh,
You know what? Maybe
you know,
being face hugged ain't that bad. It maybe it's like a warm.
you
If
know,
you're lonely, being face hugged ain't that bad.
I guess your only companion. You know what? You know what? I just thought of this past week. You know,
Maybe like my
I wasn't,
title.
I wasn't liking that, Venom trailer for like, those. Apparently, there's a section of people who are making sure that the Venoms don't go out into other universes. But after a specific issue came out this week, I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe there is some credence to making sure a symbiote doesn't go into other franchises. Like,
Oh, you know what's funny? That would happen. I was reading Venomverse. I sent Witch a picture of Webweaver in Venomverse. In
yeah,
Venomverse, they revealed that somewhere in the middle of Spider-Man 2, and that cutscene with Harris like, we gotta heal the world. After that, Knowles drags this man to 616. I'm like, hey, yo, work with me. I'm out here getting jumped. Yeah, they jumping
wait,
me.
wait, who does Knowles take?
Harry, who was Venom in Spider-Man 2 the game.
Oh, okay. Oh,
He teleported him from the game to the comic. Said, "Bro, they are jumping me. I need help. Look at this. We're already healing this world. The same thing you want to do." And Harry says,
mhm.
"No." So for some reason he wanted to use Harry in order to invade the video game timeline. Because people don't. That was like what the Rock and all that was for. I don't know if the game's going to bring this up in the next game, but that's what the Rock was. It was connecting him to 616 Noel.
Gotcha. Ah, well,
Because apparently he was throwing his symbiotes throughout the universe, and some of them end up in other multiverse, through whatever hijinks or whatever.
yeah, because it just seemed too random. Like of all the places for just a random chunk of meteor to come into the Earth, like
Yeah.
I
So
remember
I'm
even
like,
first. I remember even first watching Spider-Man 3 in theaters. I mean, even I thought that was pure BS, man. Really, that's how you're going to explain how the symbiote came? Just random.
all it did was confirm to me is that the DLC is not going to give a fuck about telling you what happened. They're not going to cover Noel at all in this game.
uh,
Also, there's gonna a fun fact. I don't want to really talk about it next week, but I wanted to bring it up now. There's gonna be an two Nosferatu movies this year.
oh man, I forgot
There's
about
one
that.
that we all know that we got all the
Hmm.
advertisement for, and then there's one with Doug Jones in it, which is gonna be on stream.
Hmm.
Which one are you
Dude,
more excited for?
Yes. But
Anyway,
my biases are here because I did get to talk to Doug Jones 3 times over the course of the
hmm,
con. So
yeah. Dude, I swear, for the next fandom event, they better be playing the original Nosferatu film. Seriously, bring it back in theaters. Now's the best time as it is ever going to be to bring it back in theaters.
I mean, they did though
Mm-hmm.
for the 100th year anniversary, dude.
yeah, they
Oh well,
did.
I guess I have to
When
wait
I
another
went to
hundred
watch
years.
the
You
movie
failure.
for his 100th anniversary, I was
Mhm.
dressed up and everything.
Yeah.
Wish
It's
showed
good.
photos.
Oop. Austin.
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. It sounded like you cut off. But anyway,
No, I thought Wish
and
showed photos.
okay. Cool. All right. Well, with that, do you guys want to get started?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Welcome to Comic Fanatic Live, the reviews of the week. You're here with me, Cryptid Seeker 415. No multiple intros for me in a week, so move on.
Yes. But it is I, Jake Tylenol, teaching Austin a Lucy lesson that Tim was in the wrong.
It's I, Austin. I guess I'll be myself. I haven't been myself for a while. Teaching Jake a Tim task that Lucy was in wrong.
That feels like
Okay.
chop.
Mhm.
Well, I'm Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunheim, pronouns they, he, and join the resistance against the F8 clarity. Join the resistance. Don't get chipped. Don't listen to Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And together we form the Fanatics and we talk about the news and reviews of the week. And tonight is our review night. We will be reviewing some great comics today, like Aliens versus Avengers, Captain America.
Hey. Calling great might be a stretch. So I'm just saying.
We did Avengers Academy, and we also have an exciting new entry to our roster. MOOM One World. Is that how I pronounce it?
It's a prequel comic to an audio drama.
A prequel to what? We'll find out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get it. I promise I'm not being paid to say everything that I'm about to say about this comic. Just letting you know that.
But if you would like to sponsor us, company that made this, we'll take money.
There is a bigger chance that I'm personally gonna collab with them before we all do, but we'll see.
But yes, and we have so much more for you guys tonight, and we're all excited to do it. So but also before we get started, we do have to talk about our socials. Isn't that right?
I don't think you heard that, but I was trying to slurp up some sport drink. Anyways,
we definitely heard it.
Okay, socials. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. That would be nice if you put on notifications so that you always know when we are live. That'd be nice. You can also follow us on Twitter at ComicFanatic69. Because I did make that title. I did make that at. Cryptid did not do that because why would he? If you just want to follow me, ya boy, you can follow me on Twitter at Witch of Jotun with an E instead of a U. You can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at witch_of_Jotunheim. I do post things on there, especially TikTok. I post more on TikTok, especially when I have ideas in my brain. Okay, you can also follow me on Tumblr at Northstar Aria. Yeah. And if you find me on Space Hey and you are not 13 to 16, feel free to friend me on there because Jesus Christ, there are too many minors on that app with really cool themes and really cool pages. But I'm just gonna leave it there because I'm gonna go on that whole rant if I don't stop. Anyways, if you want to find Austin, he is a brick wall as normal. Good luck finding him. If you want to find Jake, I don't remember exactly where I put him, but I think he's currently chilling out in Hoenn. I could be wrong, but I think I left him in Hoenn last time.
I took a pit stop there, but I had to go back to Matanui to finish some business. So.
Okay, cool. Good to know. And if you want to find Cryptid, I just put him in his room to make sure he reads that god awful Deadpool Team Up cover, just the cover.
Never underestimate a variant cover, audience. Just saying. So. Yeah,
I think you should.
I'll give my reasonings for when we get to it. But alrighty then. I guess with that, you guys want to get started?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, Austin.
Oh yeah. So it's my turn first. Look at that. Going back to Black Panther. I forgot I was going first. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's do Alien versus Avengers first, please. I was not as prepared as I thought I was.
Oh, okay. You want to start off with AV? Okay.
Yeah, let's do Alien versus Avengers first, please.
Okay. Hold on a sec. All right. With that, let's talk about Avengers versus some aliens.
Oh, okay. I guess we're not talking about Ultimate Black Panther.
Not yet, at least. But anyway, don't let the cover fool you, audience. This is not the team that's going to go up against the aliens.
Yeah, no, they straight up just lied to your face.
Yeah.
Liars.
Fly in maybe a good, maybe in a bad way, because there's some surprise characters popping up in here. I mean, you start off with the Shi'ar. They're holding someone from the Kree captive. He's chained up, has tubes all over him, and you see a face hugger that's on the ground. They're like examining him, only for their ship to get attacked by the Wakandans. And this is where you find out that there are two Black Panthers here, one of which is Azari, the child of T'Challa and Storm. Like, whoa.
From the next Avengers?
Yeah. Wow. I know he has his own fandom, so I don't think anybody was expecting this, So, and he's fully grown, by the way, audience. Yeah, he's basically the new Black Panther. While T'Challa's the old guy now. Um, they invade the ship, and you come to find out that one of the members of the Shi'ar is actually what's the term for those robots and aliens? You know, those biometric robots, the ones that have like that white liquid in their body.
They're called androids.
Yeah.
Okay, androids. All right. So yeah, you find out one of the members of the Shi'ar is actually an android too. So moving forward, you kind of get a narrative that a serious time jump happened because the Xenomorphs came and invaded the Marvel universe. I don't think it mentioned how the Xenomorphs came. They just came. And,
So basically, if I remember, some of the Shi'ar found them and then tried to weaponize them, and they sent one batch of eggs to every planet, including Earth.
mm-hmm.
So just one of those things where they were around, but they were stuck to one planet, and then the Shi'ar visited them on their planet, like how Alien One is, type like that.
Yeah, you see, which if you needed another reason they hate the Shi'ar, here you go.
Yeah, but they're also bird people, man.
Mm-hmm. So
why does Charles and Vulcan want to keep fucking bird people?
Oh wait. Are you attracted to Namor?
I'm not attracted to Namor. I just like Namor. There's a difference.
I know. I'm just making sure. I'm just
saying I prefer the fish people more than these genocidal colonialist bird people. Does that make
Namor's genocidal.
Yeah, but that's different.
Yes, but I like him.
Yeah, exactly. Shut up.
Okay, but anyway, so we get like
fuck the fish man, okay? And I don't want to fuck anyone. I would rather fuck the fish man.
Gotcha. But anyway, speaking of fucking fishmen, we get to see the Xenomorphs basically obliterate every society and town they come across. You see them invading all the countries. You see them invading Attilan, the home of the Inhumans. You see them demolishing Atlantis.
Alone.
I know. At least they were put out.
You're not convincing me. Regular Xenomorph beat all these superpower people.
Oh, you want to talk about superpowered people? Apparently, they are the ones who kill Apocalypse.
Exactly.
Apparently, the mutant society all flee, but Apocalypse is like, hey, I'll fight, and if I die, I mean, so be it. It's always about the survival of the fittest, after all.
We never really see him die, if I remember correctly.
They imply that he died.
Mm-hmm.
Implies, guys.
Yeah, they imply that everybody died unless you were staying in this last human city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
I do want to bring that up though, because there's like a time skip, and it's a very considerable time skip. Yeah. And I don't understand how the aliens could wipe out almost all of humanity and then just have like a long period of just not being able to do it.
Oh, not just all of humanity. Apparently, they might have gone through all the galaxy.
That's what I'm saying. The fact that there's even some humans left is kind of nonsensical to me.
I addressed this with Jake when we first read it. Instead of doing it like this, no one in their right mind is going to believe a regular Xenomorph with acid blood is going to beat every superhero force out there, every superhuman force out there.
I mean,
the Skrulls realistically could probably win by themselves.
Yep. I mean, you would think the fact that they. I mean, you would think the fact that they already have dealings with the Brood and still manage to survive will be a testament to how. Exactly.
Yeah. Realistically, which we think they're going to use the Brood as a way to come back and combat this in a way. But my idea was, I said, instead of how they introduced it, they should have had the aliens already take over the Shi'ar and whoever the fuck else out in space, to be honest. And then we had Xenomorph with different superpowers attacking planets. At least it'd been a little bit more believable, because they take some of the DNA and powers of whoever they get in. So there'll be like a gladiator Xenomorph. I don't know any of the Shi'ar, famous Inhuman Blade. Imagine a Black Bolt Xenomorph.
Ooh.
Like stuff like that. You could have did a lot of crazy stuff to show the fall. And regular xenomorphs. Like it don't seem like they got anybody fans.
Yeah, exactly. You have to submerge your suspension of disbelief for this particular run, apparently.
But
So,
it's hard to do that because they did the Predator crossover so great.
mm-hmm.
Like
Oh,
I'm
the
not
one
going
where
to
he
talk
goes
about
into
Black Panther
the
versus Predator. We'll do that next. But even just the
okay.
Wolverine versus Predator was really good and really solid writing.
Mm-hmm. And it also didn't hurt much that the writer also wrote it with the intention of that being canon too, in a subtle
Yeah,
way. So yeah. But going back to the issue at hand, like you see all the survivors, man, a lot of them are old at this point. Even Valeria, the daughter of
he's
Reed and
40
Sue,
something,
Yeah, we
she's
right?
know who Valeria Richards is, guys.
yeah, yeah, she's old in this. Like, damn. She has wrinkles and all that stuff. Basically,
She
she
said she
comes
had
up with,
2 failed marriages. Who did she marry? I
oh,
didn't know.
oof.
She said she'd
Uh,
been divorced twice. I need to know their
well,
names. I need their
well,
locations, their name.
okay,
I
keep
need to
this in
beat
mind,
some people
Austin.
up.
Yeah, keep this in mind, Austin. This is the apocalypse right here. You're going to be hooking up with whoever you can at this point. All right.
I swear,
So
if they say Miles or somebody else around that age group, I want to do something.
You're gonna
why
go to
not?
Marvel and be like, "What the fuck was this?"
Mm.
He really taking everything from me.
Like, we
Gotcha.
can't even have Valeria Richards anymore.
Hmm. But anyway, so she's here. She's performing tests on one of the eggs, and her plan is basically to create a virus that would destroy the eggs themselves. But yeah, people like Bruce Banner here are kind of worried. Well, what if that virus ends up mutating, and we end up in an even worse position? But Carol's like, look, there is no worse than this, Bruce. Come on,
Yeah, they're like 100 of us left, bro. Chill out, real. Okay, it can't get that
Yeah.
bad.
Yep. But things do end up getting bad as a xenomorph actually does break into their fortress. Hulk fights the xenomorph, of course, breaks his head, and the Hulk is clearly hurt by the acid going in his face. Like,
Well, no,
hmm,
duh, it's acid.
Yeah, he's not
I'm
our Hulk. He's not our current Hulk. That's for sure.
yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw Hulk go full ham on like blasts from Black Bolt's voice and the full power of Sentry's, power of 1,000 exploding suns. So it just kind of seems weird that a splash of acid is enough to really critically damage him.
We gotta look at it like the Marvel Zombies universe, where it's like it's similar, but these ain't our guys, bro. They're not us.
I guess. But anyway, let's go to the real meat of this issue because a face hugger pops up, and guess who he infects, audience?
Yo, mom.
Uh, you can't handle that sort of crossbreeding, but it infects Miles Morales.
God damn it, Austin.
Well, no, it tries to. First of all, he has a mask on. I don't know how that would have worked regardless. But then
Okay,
the
fine. If
symbiote,
it's just his normal fabric mask, like that can
yeah,
still
but
help him.
no, the xenomorph can't. I
No,
mean,
a face hugger's going through
I'm fucking
fabric,
with it.
man. Come
facehuggers,
on.
they have a no. The facehugger have a flesh tongue thing. It doesn't
Mhm.
pierce. They can't do that.
It's just fabric, man.
You
Yeah,
would think that wouldn't be an issue. How thick is this
Yeah.
fabric, Miles?
no. I'm
Hmm.
saying, look, the xenomorph's tongue shoots out like a piston. The facehugger can't do that.
Uh, I
Well, okay.
I
Well,
guess
sorry, I don't know alien lore. Okay, I don't watch these fucking movies.
You're welcome. I've seen all of them. All
but
right.
Cool.
yeah,
Thank you for
but
informing me on that.
yeah, but the other threat to this is the fact that when a face hugger gets to your face, right, it also wraps its tail around your neck. So at this
Yeah.
point, like the team, they're all figuring out what to do because if they perform any action against that face hugger, it's going to snap Miles's neck. And
Yeah.
on top of
Because
that, Miles can't breathe since the face hugger isn't injecting himself in it,
yeah,
in him.
it chokes you, so you'll be forced to open your mouth. And since it can't touch Miles' mouth, it's going to break his neck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's when. Well,
Miles can't catch a break in any fucking universe. Jesus Christ.
don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath on that, witch, because
I don't want my neck snapped.
because what ends up happening is a big revelation happens. Apparently, someone else got into the Venom symbiote wardrobe, and that person just so happened to be Miles.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah,
It couldn't get on someone who never got it before. We couldn't got something imaginative and crazy. No, we got Venom. We got Venom Miles for the first time. What, 1 year?
Yep. No, we didn't just get Venom Miles. We got a Venom Facehugger. Yeah, that's right. A parasite took over another parasite audience.
I'm gonna
I really like this. I think this is the first time I was like, oh, the symbiote can be cool.
Symbiote can be cool.
Wow, Jake! After you went on your whole spiel about no symbiote variation will ever surprise you or make you feel anything.
It's really creative, and I like how it was the way to stop the facehugger, because especially coming off a movie where there's no way you can stop the facehugger affecting you, and then just but the idea that the symbiote can counter it is pretty interesting. I like that.
Yeah, but it can always counter one at a time.
Right, only one. Yeah. It's not like a get out of jail free card, but it's one get out of jail free card.
Well, okay. So you want to tell me that the problem to solve all facehuggers is a daily dose of venom, Jake?
Yep.
Take
7, what it was, 13 inches of venom. Was that the mean?
Yeah.
That's all you want.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, the symbiote takes over the facehugger, controls it, and it decides to latch itself on Miles's chest. It becomes his new insignia, and keep in mind, Miles, he's now all white, his costume. I don't know what that's about. Regardless, this is basically his version of Anti-Venom right here. So yeah,
randomly for no reason.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, audience, you want to see Miles get another variation to his costume and possibly a power up? Here you go.
Take a shot every time Miles Morales gets a weird power up or a new suit, guys, or a new name, because Marvel doesn't want to let him be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It can be alcoholic, it can be not alcoholic, but take a shot. Let's go, audience.
What's the next power up you want to give Miles, audience?
Super Saiyan 2 Miles Super Saiyan.
Make it the next
I need him. I need him to get the Iron Fist. I want to see a full Venom punch with the Iron Fist.
I need a problem so egregious that more people will be like, okay, why is he getting all this much? I don't know. But this is, like I said, this is in a different universe. This is an off-brand thing, so it doesn't really matter. But I just kind of want to get that one power. People are like, this needs to stop.
Gotcha. I mean, for what it's worth, his costume does look pretty cool, man. I like the fact that the facehugger latches onto his chest and it becomes a spider insignia while also wrapping its tail in a spiral. It looks pretty good. Yeah. I just like the fact that at a certain point, everybody who's relevant in Marvel will eventually get a symbiote, right? You're going to run out of people, so...
You know who hasn't gotten a symbiote form yet?
Who?
North Star.
Any member of Alpha Flight. None of them has ever gotten a symbiote.
Valeria.
That's actually insulting to Alpha Flight. That they did.
Yeah.
You get a book with once a decade. Like, I don't need that, man.
Wait. Symbiotes infected the whole world, and he still didn't get one.
Is that it says Norm from Fairly Odd Parents once said, "I'm off to destroy Canada. They had it too good. They had it too good for too long."
Just imagine the demi-goddess Naria with a symbiote. I don't know which symbiote because I don't know much about symbiote lore, but just imagine a demi-goddess who could shapeshift into any animal or creature of Canada as a symbiote. Just think about that.
You know, it's funny. There's a perfect symbiote for that too.
I don't know which one though. I don't know symbiotes.
Yeah.
Imagine the Speedster twins. Imagine the twins with a symbiote. Are there twin symbiotes out there?
I'm sure we've had.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've had.
Technically, all of Venom. Venom has 5 twin children.
Well, they're not twins. They're quintuplets.
But I mean, 2 of them were technically the same thing split into 2.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's twins. But they're still quintuplets.
Craven didn't bring up the fact that Valeria got face hugged off screen and then went in her room to go die by herself.
Jesus Christ! Where's Franklin?
That's what I
man.
said.
Now, you
Out of
Valeria,
all
where
sound
the
is your
weird
brother?
group of survivors you picked here, I like how none of the top tier is here. How did Franklin
Yeah.
die? Who got Franklin? I need to know.
Yeah.
Wait,
You know,
Franklin,
out of
You
everybody
would
that
think the reality manipulators.
If I remember correctly, Franklin didn't die. He's just missing what's dead, so he might come back. He's not dead.
it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing that out of everybody in the cover, right? It's only Carol who's relevant in this story because Iron Man, a guy literally wearing an iron mask, right? Apparently got killed by a face.
All of those are still all those people on the next issue too, the next issue cover.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I do have to ask though, how did any of the fire people go down? Symbiotes are scared of fire.
The
The Xenomorph
For real.
don't like the light.
I don't like her, but where's Firestar when you need her?
Mm-hmm.
You leave the queen
Where's
alone.
Sunfire?
Yeah, you were right, Firestar.
Sunfire when you need them. Both of them. Where are both
Yeah,
Sunfire?
where were they
Where's
when
Sunspot?
Blood Hunt happened?
Yeah, where the fuck is Sunspot?
So this one, the Xenomorphs finally realized they're not actually weak to fire, and then they just
Where are the sound bitches? Like, where's Banshee and Siren?
I don't actually think they'll do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They can give it a shot and they get face hugged.
Well, I'm sure anybody screaming loud will hurt anybody, but it's not like a specific weakness, I don't think.
Yeah.
It probably would hurt them because they have sensitive ears. I would imagine being able to hear and hiding the.
They don't really have ears. They sent you with pheromones and shit.
Right, that's right. They're the perfect killers. So that means Spider-Woman was probably the first to die.
And technically, Marvel invented the alien queen lady. Spider-Woman could easily take that form. Her pheromones probably be able to manipulate them.
Oh, that's true. That actually would be interesting to explore because she does have pheromone control. So seeing what she could do with the aliens.
Yeah, if I wrote it, it would be kind of cool. But I don't think this guy can.
Audience, if you ever want to imagine what a xenomorph mommy looks like, thank Marvel for that.
That story's actually really good. I want to review it on screen one day, but I can't find one.
Gotcha. But alrighty then. You guys have any final thoughts on this before we move on?
Give me 1 second to make sure I have Black Panther up.
Okay. All right then. I guess with that we can move on to the next book, audience.
Go backwards.
Go backwards, man.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Ultimate Black Panther. As you see, you got the cover up there. Him fighting the Green. If I remember correctly, we were just leaving off with them finding out there's a anti-vibranium power source in this thing, and it's the power of life. I don't know how that's anti-vibranium, but whatever. T'Challa's fight starts. This issue starts off with him fighting the Moon Knight's. What do you want to call them? Acolytes?
Yeah, go for it, acolytes.
We'll call it acolytes. I stole that word from Magneto, by the way. No one remembers. Magneto used to be a religious figure. Like it wasn't X-Men that it wasn't Magneto and the evil mutants. It was Magneto and his acolyte. It was almost like a church.
Yep. I mean, hey, it's not like any other series is going to be using term acolytes anytime soon, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, on to good acolytes. Killmonger shows up to help save the day. He has a weird sound attack on his bike, and it was throwing me off when I first saw that panel. Because I was like, what the fuck? I don't know. That seems so weird for Killmonger of all people. Storm comes in, she being awesome. Witch would have loved this panel here. But they started to put their trust in T'Challa. He tells them, hey, I don't want y'all to I hope y'all don't regret working with me. All this other stuff. We go back to Wakanda, and we get to see our first statue of Bast and what Bast should look like in his universe. And it's basically a furry.
With a tail and everything, audience.
People don't know, in the 616 Bast is a female goddess. She's usually an adult, but the last time she showed up, she was a little girl. because that writer's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But T'Challa's talking with the Seer, I believe, again.
Yep.
The Seer basically, let me make sure I got the dialogue down. They're basically doing the whole arc with like, you're a good man with a good heart, but it's hard for a good man to be king. You know? So I gotta make choices. There's some bad stuff happening out here. We're in the middle of war. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like what T'Challa's wearing, bro. I'm getting kind of sick of his outfit, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, it kind of reminds me of his casual outfit he wore in the first film.
Yeah, but it has been like 7 issues in a row he's been wearing it, bro. Watch your clothes. That's all that's bothering me.
Oh, you really get to need to wash his clothes, dude. He gets a new pair every day, man.
Okay. I'll let you. I'll let it play.
You're king. You're
cut
king.
back.
Yeah.
That's true. He is a king. It's probably one of those anime situations where he opens his closet just with one shirt, like all the way on.
Yep.
But we cut back to T'Challa and Okoye. And I think this is the second time in this book, they're sharing a bed. Because the first time, I don't know if you remember Cryptid, but they were sleeping in 2 separate beds.
I mean, come on, Okoye, come on. You really think that's okay to be sleeping in 2 separate beds, guys? Come on, you know.
It kind of feels like that as Storm's around, she kind of feeling kind of jealous. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
It seems kind of convenient. Another woman comes to the picture, and now she suddenly wants to have sex with her husband. I'm just saying.
There you go, man.
People don't remember issue 2 or 3. People, the Seer was telling him, "You're going to meet the love of your life, the woman who rides the storm or some bullshit, and like the woman who shoots lightning or something." He basically told him, "Your real love is Storm." Like early on in this book. Which is kind of fucked up. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep. And
this Killmonger without his mask on? He looks a lot different than I thought he was. I think the first time we seen him with his mask fully off.
Let me see. Like, okay. Yeah, that's what he looks like. You know, the one. You know, he's having all those dreads and all that stuff. Yeah. Remember, these are young.
I'm just not used to it, bro. He caught me off guard. I'm only reading this book for the second time since I got it.
Gotcha.
But we get T'Challa in a fight. We got new powers. It looks like.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like he changed his. He changed his vibranium suit to be able to absorb the lightning and powers of Storm once you hit him with it, and basically channel that throughout the suit as he fights. So now he can run at lightning so fast speeds. He can do the. Y'all seen the movies where he hit black obsidian, or when he hits the ground to make that shockwave. He can do that with lightning now.
Yep. Wow, he's already demonstrating that he and Storm make one heck of a power couple. Oh, okay.
I kind of feel bad for her. She definitely about to get cut. He definitely gonna kill her. He basically shows up and says, "Now who's your king?" The Black Panther. Say it again. Say it so everyone can hear. The Black Panther.
Now who's your
It's a funny battle outside of context, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is great.
Yep. Now I wanted him to say, "Now who's your queen?"
Yeah. The Wind Rider. Yeah, that's what they cut. They said the Wind Rider is his love. But basically, Moon Knight was trying to convince these people to join him, promised them some bullshit, and then when they refused, he put them in chains.
Mm-hmm.
And then T'Challa puts his arm up, does a giant lightning strike, basically letting Moon Knight and Raw know, "I'm right here. It's time to fight." Mm-hmm. And we see them at the end of the issue. It's a pretty straightforward issue, man.
Yeah, I like what they said. Like when they are looking at that lightning just shooting from the ground all the way to the sky, they're like saying, "Oh, that is the cry of Wakanda right there." You know? Damn.
I just realized something. When I told you to put Black Panther on here, we're supposed to be doing Black Panther versus the Predator. Well, we did this instead.
Oh, dude, you said Black Panther, and I
reread it.
You want to talk about? Did I mention to you? And I mentioned to you. Do you want to also talk about Black Panther versus Predator? You said no, man.
I will read it for you verbatim because I know for a back. We went back.
We'll talk about it next time, Austin. All right. All right. I don't have a picture of it up or anything like that. So, and
No,
plus
no,
we have
no,
a
no. You're right. No, 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 no. You're right. You're right.
yeah, we have a packed night
I
today.
meant Black Panther was
Anyway.
Predator. It's all good.
Okay.
But I'm glad we got to talk about this. This is fun.
Yeah, I mean it's great. I mean, is it a straightforward Black Panther series? Yes, but given the
I think we
mixed at
needed that.
best
The T'Challa
reaction.
been getting like trashed the last 3 books in the main continuity.
Yeah. Yeah, after like mixed at best reaction that the last few runs of Black Panther have been giving out, yeah, you needed like a slice of humble pie,
I
if there's
don't know.
one aspect, yeah.
I was about to say, the first one was mixed. The second one was hated, and the second one was straight up hated. That was the one when Namor teams up Wakanda, and they all betrayed T'Challa. And then people hated the next run. They just portrays everything Wakanda's supposed to be. It makes Wakanda the ghetto.
Yeah, because the writer wanted to turn Wakanda into her neighborhood, apparently.
Yeah, it's no longer the
Um,
paradise; it's the place right outside your door.
yeah. There's one thing here that I am kind of like a little interested in. It's the aspect as to whether or not vibranium is alive or something like that.
Yes.
Um,
Maybe.
maybe, yeah. I mean, well, what would that be? I mean, hey, objects getting their own consciousness, it's a thing in Marvel audience. Just ask Thor and his hammer, you know? Just ask the Darkhold book by Agatha, Like, hey, they're becoming sentient,
That's
So,
that's also why I'm interested in this life stuff. Because Worm said
mhm.
at the end of this run, someone's gonna be fully empowered by it, or end up being an avatar of it, or something like that, or it's gonna give birth to a brand new goddess that
Mhm.
also
Hey,
it affects the land of Africa.
hey, this could be T'Challa's own version of the Destroyer from Thor,
And look, it might end up with him getting a poison ivy.
Ooh, there you go, there you go. Oh, okay, just say you might want
You might
to
want to
look
give
at
up at
your
this point.
options then. Yeah, So, all right, yeah, it was a good issue. Audience, go pick it up. So.
I still hate his mask. I don't care what anyone says.
Okay, yeah, the part where you can see his mouth being exposed, that's the only part I really don't dig.
Yeah, yeah. I understand they want to make him look different than every Black Panther match we have, so he looks very
Mhm,
distinct. It's fine,
mhm.
but it just looked kind of
I
goofy
like,
when he still got
yeah,
his stuff, his mouth out, in his
it
full metal suit.
it at least looks better than when we had that Ultimate 2, that movie. The one where he
Yeah,
had his
yeah.
his
It looks
arms
way better than
exposed.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm,
but yeah.
Fred, I'm just imagining him like when he got shocked by Aurora's lightning and he just screaming out in pain
Oh.
because his mouth's open.
Wow. That's that way you could hear him say, "I have the power of my new queen."
Okay.
But yeah, we'll move on. That's all it was. A good, nice
Gotcha.
little read. Pick it up if you like Black Panther, or if you've been missing
Mhm.
Black Panther.
Cool, cool.
Anyways, we're
Alrighty
gonna
then.
talk about an actual really, really good book, and
Hold
not
on
one
a
How
sec.
dare you?
worth a while. So we're talking about Ultimate X-Men issue 6. Because written and drawn by Miss Peach Momoko herself. Everyone give her praises because she's amazing. Okay. Anyways, we
Mhm.
finally got a cast list, guys. We finally got a
We-
cast list. Thoughts?
I
Just
was,
kidding.
okay.
I want you to know, I was on mute. I said A, and I forgot I was on mute.
Anyways, we got a cast list now. So we got Hisako, Ichiki, Armor, Mei, Igarashi, May Storm, not Storm, May Storm. There's a difference, guys. Nico Minoru, a fledgling psychic. Mori, just Mori. Nico's friend. Natsu Tsukishima. I hope I said that right. It's kind of spelled in a very interesting way, so that's why I was like, I hope I spelled it right. Anyway, she's also Nico's friend. We got Noriko Ashida, aka Surge, and Shinobu Kageyama, aka the Shadow King. Any
Oh,
Shadow King
Natsu
out there?
Tsukushima.
Let us know. I hope it's
Mhm.
none of you.
Yeah.
Natsu Tsukushima.
Yeah, I try my
Why they
best.
draw Mori like that? They did Mori dirty in this picture.
Also, Mori doesn't have a last name, unlike everyone else who has the last name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on into the actual book. Anyways, so we start off in a basketball court because it's X-Men. You have to have some sport. It's either baseball or basketball, depending on what universe we're in or what book we're doing. Anyways, so May is like, hey, are you doing all right? Like, I know about the video, and Hisako's like, yeah, it's fine. Like, that's a good thing that I stay off the socials, like cryptid, chronically offline. Anyways, so obviously, May is like, oh my god, it's blazing. Why are we outside? I'm gonna catch on fire. And then Nico, being best girl, she's like, okay, then make it rain and put yourself out. Like, Natsu and Mori wanted to play basketball. And Hisako's like, aren't you hot in those long sleeves? And Nico's all like, don't you know anything about goth fashion? Honestly, me too, bitch. Do you not know anything? Like, I don't care. It's for the fashion. Anyways, so Nico interrupts their little blunders and was like, okay, when my grandma was alive, she devoted herself to researching this cult, right? So everything she learned, she put in this book. Like, even though it's not concrete proof that the cult exists, here you go. And we basically like see all the 2 pages of what her grandmother wrote in the book, and
Yeah.
oh my god, that's intense. Like, what did your grandma like do exactly? And Nico's like, in addition to being a psychic, she practiced ritual magic and spell casting. Like, you see the symbol here? You see that? Like, it's pointing to a symbol that kind of looks like Nico's staff, but with an X over it. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm dumb. I just
Okay, well, whatever. So
Maury's
it's just,
Molly for the Runaways. I just realized that.
yeah, it took you that long to realize that Mori is actually Molly?
Leave me alone. I'm slow.
No, I'm not gonna leave you alone. Be faster. Just kidding. But yeah, for the audience, Mori, basically the girl with the bunny hat. She is basically Molly from the Runaways because we needed some Runaways rep. And if you're wondering, Natsu is the Cyclops of the story. So spoiler alert, she's the Cyclops of the story. Anyway, going back to the actual plot before Austin just had his revelation over here. Anyways, so Nico points out that it's the same symbol on Hisako's like little charm thingy and all that jazz. And so May is like, okay, come on, what else does it say? Like ancient prophecies, blood rituals. That's how I imagine her saying it, And
Yeah.
Nico's like, okay, please don't yell into my ear. It is far too hot and you'll give me a headache. Which honestly, mood, like literally, the dogs that live at a neighbor's house always bark at me and they always give me a headache. It's like, it's too hot for this shit. Anyways, so Hisako's like, this is insane. And somehow we're involved in this. And so Molly sits next to Hisako and she's like, oh my god, it's boiling today. And so basically Molly sees Nico's journal and so Hisako's like, look at this symbol, Mori. Have you seen it before? And Mori's like, oh yeah, sure, the children of the atom. Just like so nonchalantly, And so the basketball misses the net and like falls onto the ground. And so May's like, Atom, like the anime character? And Hisako's like, shh, May. So that means the secret religion like actually exists. And so Mori's like, whoops. And it's like, that's your fault for saying that so fucking nonchalantly, man. Anyways, so Natsu, that's her name by the way. She's like, okay, why are you asking questions about that religion? And Nico's like, we think that there's a link between Hisako's stalker and that cult. And Hisako's like, Mori, are you okay? Because it looks like she's like, oh my god, I feel so bad, And so Nico's like, in fact, we suspect that the stalker is a member, because it's true. We all know that. That's common knowledge. And so Natsu's like, okay. And so May is like, wait, Tsubasa gave you that. right? Like, give you that little charm. Does that mean that he was a part of the cult too? Hisako's like, it's possible. And May, being May, she's like, ooh, the ghost of Tsubasa. That's how I imagine her saying it, you know? With like a fan in her hand, you know, because it's hot as hell outside. It's still hot as hell outside. It's September. It's cooler than like 100 degrees. Anyways, so Natsu looks like she's going through it. She's like pondering something. And so Nico's like, yo, do you know something? Like, do you know something, Natsu? And Mori's like, oh, I gotta get going, guys. And Natsu's like, it's okay. It doesn't matter if they know. She don't give a shit. Anyways, so May is like, okay, say what? Like, what are you talking about? And so Natsu, finally getting to do something in this book besides just being a cameo over here. She's like, oh yeah, our parents, like, they're members of the group. We're not supposed to talk about it to outsiders. And yeah, so May, I'm assuming it's May. Because it sounds like her. She's like, ha, looks like finding the secret church wasn't so hard after all. Anyways, so we cut over to Mr. Shinobu Kageyama over here, aka the Shadow King. Ooh. So basically, we get a little bit of a look into his life. Basically, he's 16. He goes to this school. You know, he was born in a normal middle-class family. He gets normal grades. He has kind of normal friends because his only friend is Surge. And if you know anything about Surge, bitch, that's not normal. Anyways, so we learn about what his actual mutant ability is. So basically, he can hear people's thoughts and others can hear his. So it freaks out people, especially his mom. She was really unsettled by his ability, you know, because someone needs to check him out, you know. And apparently his mom tried to kill him, so because of his ability. So yeah, that's not nice. That's not fun. Anyways, so him and his mom find out about the children of the atom, you know, and how to like help him out, you know, because yeah, he can't really control his abilities, which fair enough. He's a young mutant who just got his powers. He's not gonna know that shit.
Yep.
Anyways, so we learned that the children of the atom saved him, like his mother and him, you know, that they told him that he was superior, he was special, that he's gonna be the savior of the world, and all that other stuff. So yeah, they taught him to control his abilities, and they'll bring light and power to the world. Blah 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 blah. Something about Testament of X. Don't worry about it. And yeah, so basically, we don't know exactly what happened to his mom, but they drank this like weird thing, this liquid thing out of a bowl, so maybe that helped, or something. He wears this like weird helmet thing with all these talismans on him and all these like little cords and shit. I don't know. Don't worry about it. Anyways, so his mother seems happier at this rate. So if his mom's happy, he's like the family's happy. But she does not look like normal happy. You know, she looks like, I just had a lobotomy and I don't know better. You know. So, anyways, so he's like, oh, I was obedient and lived the way they told me until I met you, Hisako Ichiki. It's like, Jesus Christ, you creepazoid. Go read some manga, Jesus Christ. Anyways, so we cut back to the girls, to the Goyles, you know, and Mori is like, guys, did you hear that? Like, why did it get so dark and like real fast and cold? Like, is someone there? We should go home. That's just like everyone else speaking at the same time. I don't know who's speaking, but everyone's speaking. So we see the shadowy figure, and Natsu's like, Kageyama, is that you? And Hisako's like, who is Kageyama? And you see the shadowy figure become all blobby, you know? And Natsu's like, oh yeah, he creates shadows and visions. Like, everyone be careful. He can make you see and hear things. Do not trust your senses. And so 3 of the Goyles, you know, so Hisako, Nico, and May, they like all get powered up. They're ready to do their thing. So Molly does not have her super strength just yet. We're working on it. We're getting there. Like, Mori is getting there. And so like Natsu's like, yo, what?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Do it.
Anyways, sorry. So basically, Natsu's like, what are you guys doing? Like, and so then Kageyama's like shooting some shadowy blob thingies at them, and Hisako goes in to like, you know, protect protect the squad because that's what you do and everything. And basically he's like, you think I'm the closed off one from the world, that I have no friends? Why don't you come out of the damn shadows? And basically just like punches the shadow kind of. And we cut over to Kageyama in his room being like, fuck, like my Hisako doesn't talk like that. And so his mom comes in and she's like, Shinobu, like, what's wrong? Because concerned parent. And he's like, not my Hisako. He's being such a creep, honestly.
Aww.
Like I'm not saying I'm not insinuating anything, but if he didn't have powers, he would probably be a NEET. If you don't know what a NEET is, basically it's someone who doesn't really go to school or have a job or anything. They just stay at home every day.
Wow.
That's like, it's very common in Japan. Well, not common, I wouldn't say that, but it's known about in Japan, just letting you know that. But
Gotcha.
You have to insult me like that, Witch.
Huh?
You have to insult me like that.
Okay. Well, going back to the actual book. So Hisako grabs the shadow and just basically like tears it off of Kageyama. And Nico's like, okay, stand back, man. Give Hisako a chance. And Natsu's like, wait, is she grabbing his shadow? How is that even possible? And Hisako's like, okay, you don't get to hide in the shadows anymore. And so, basically grabs the shadow, basically like rips it kind of, and falls to the ground kind of, and her armor like dissipates for a little bit. And we see Kageyama like in the flesh kind of, and he holds out his hand and he's like, hi Hisako, do you remember me? And she's like, I don't, who are you? And he's like, fuck. He's like fuck you, man. He doesn't actually say that, but he like goes back into his shadowy like state, and Hisako goes like, Nico now, and uses her magic staff, to like seal the shadow into her staff for a little bit, and his glasses fall. Fun times for the gang, this is a group bonding moment. Squad bonding moment, guys. Stop the weird shadowy stalker guy. Great. Anyways, so Hisako is getting on her bike, and she's like, that shadow, Kageyama, he seemed different from before. And May is like, wow, you were amazing. Because besties. And Hisako's like, I felt powerful for the first time because I was a part of a team. And so we cut back over to Kageyama. He's like, get out, let go of my head. And he's like, trashed his room. He's on the floor. And his mom's like, let's go see the Meister, or the Master. I don't know. It's spelled Maestr. So I'm just saying Meister because that seems about right.
Maester.
Maester? No, that works too. Anyways, so he goes over to the Children of the Atom. And he's like, hey, it's me. And the other voice is like, again? I suppose it's to be expected. Inform Mrs. Kageyama that he'll be fine. So he drinks that liquid thingy that I told you about earlier while he's wearing the weird helmet thingy with all the wires. And so we see a bit of a narration bubble that says, after all, he isn't like the rest. He is one of the chosen. It's like emphasized chosen, a true homo superior. And we see him laying on like a hospital bed type thing, surrounded by 4 like doctor people, with this one guy who's like chained, who's like tied up on this like X thing. That one Wolverine like cover that Cryptid loves for some reason. That one X-Men comic.
The one that was sad to have sold earlier this year.
Yeah, that one, whatever. Anyways, so it's not Logan, because we know what happens to Logan in this universe, but it's this like mutant. We don't know who they are. It could be anyone at this point. And so basically I can assume that the Children of the Atom is using this person's powers, like abilities, to like give it to Kageyama here. And so basically that's where that ends. We do get a little bit of a lexicon, and all that jazz. It's great. And yeah, next issue we're gonna get introduced to Miss Psylocke. You guys excited?
Oh wow. She's gonna be in this book? Wait.
Peach Momoko putting all the Japanese mutants in here. You're gonna have to like work with her.
Wait, Psylocke.
Is it weird that Wolverine was just regular Wolverine, but everyone else is apparently Japanese mutants?
Yeah.
Well, Wolverine's not in this book. He's
Mhm.
dead.
I know. I'm saying, apparently, Wolverine of this timeline just a regular Wolverine. I thought it was funny.
How long before we get Silver Samurai here? Which
I don't know, but I know.
I
I don't.
we already
I
got
don't remember
Sunfire.
exactly where
Mhm.
Samurai fits into this, but I know Sunfire is ruling over Japan in this. Also part of Korea because Japan cannot just leave Korea alone.
Mhm.
I looked at the map like that was given to us when these books were coming out, and I was like looking around and I noticed that and I was like, what the fuck? Leave Korea alone. Leave it alone. We've already been through enough. Anyways, that's the end of the issue. I've been really liking this book. So if you've read like the first issue and you were like, I don't know if it's gonna be good, go read this book. It's getting really good. So all the people who doubted me, suck my dick. I'm just kidding. You can move on now.
Okay. Alright then, audience. With that, we're going to move on to the next book. Now, hold on.
All right.
Jake!
Go talk about Pokemon.
Yeah, some background knowledge. I was planning to do this way later. Like I was not even planning to review a Pokemon manga until way later. But I was volunteering at a bookstore, and this came up for like kids and stuff. And so this came up, and I was like, I like the art. I'm gonna buy it. Oh, and just so you know, I almost got the Lilo and Stitch manga too, because I like the art in that. But I only had enough for one of these, and I skimmed through both, and so this one went out. So
Okay.
So we're reviewing Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, Pokemon Adventures. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, so this book basically opens up first page. It tells you, hey, in 10 days the world is gonna fucking die. Okay, what a strong opening.
I know
Talk
what's
about-
going down.
Talk about raising the stakes.
All right, I haven't read this whole book yet, so I don't know if I'm gonna do a second review, but we'll see. Basically, we start off with our protagonist. They've already saved the world once in the original manga proper. So now they're learning how to progress in their training. They've learned how to use ultimate moves for their Pokemon, but now they need to learn Mega Evolution, which was new at the time.
Yeah, Mega Evolution.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Ruby is off on his own adventure. He has left his girlfriend, Saphire. That's right. 2 protagonists dating in the same series of Pokemon. Yes, we're here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at the end of the last manga, Ruby and Sapphire actually got together. So that they still kept that in mind when they did the sequel. Sapphire is training Ruby's Pokemon while Ruby is off and away doing his own business. Which is weird to me. I never had another trainer train my Pokemon before. But,
Watch him get mad because he made them forget one move. You got rid of Flame Wheel? What's wrong with you?
For defense curl? Oh, come on.
I did like the thing where Sapphire. So here's the thing: Sapphire is a tomboy, and Ruby is actually the more like I wouldn't say like feminine one, but he's into the more stuff that you would associate with the Pokemon girls in the anime. Like he's not a trainer; he's a coordinator, basically. And so he all wants to show off like a Pokemon style and like their beauty and all this stuff. But Sapphire is the one who likes to fight. Like she likes the nitty gritty of battle, basically. But you know, she's trying to train the Pokemon. Like, for instance, she's training her Gardevoir and Ruby's Gardevoir, and she wants them to evolve at the same time. But because Ruby's Gardevoir touches a Moonstone, it evolves into like a different version of itself. She gets upset about it. So I thought that was pretty
It
funny.
turned to Gallade, right?
Gallade?
Yes.
You know
Yes,
it's Ralts, then Curlia, then it can go from either a Gardevoir or a Gallade.
Yes.
You were saying the evolution line wrong.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I messed up. But yeah.
Yeah. So there is now a Gardevoir and a Gallade, right?
Yes. And she was upset about that because she wanted to have matching evolutions, but
no, it actually works out in their favor if you really think about it.
It does, but the problem is that Ruby got the one that complements Sapphire's personality, and Sapphire got the one that complements Ruby's personality.
But that doesn't work.
That sounds like a trade for me.
Yeah.
You get trade.
But
all the
also
time.
Ruby is an interesting protagonist because of the coordinator stuff. It makes him kind of more like fun to read. There's an issue where he's fighting someone in a temple, and this person like ambushes him and like knocks him through a building with her salamence, and he's like injured and scratched up and all this stuff, and he's like, now you just ruined my fit. I got this brand new outfit and you just ruined it. I'm so sad right now. And so basically, so it seems like he cares more about style and pizzazz more so than the fight itself. And he uses practical thinking to get out of his situations rather than just battling straight up. Now, he also has a friendship with Latios and Latias as well, which I should be reminded that in the manga, there's some adult content here. For instance, like in the movie, I don't know if you guys remember in the Pokemon movie, Latias had a female body.
Pokemon Heroes.
Yes. And so when Ruby sees Latias in the female body, he's like, let me just feel them real. I want to know if they're real. So he feels like Latias's boobs, essentially.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey, that's sexual assault on Pokemon.
That's wild.
Right. What did he say? Which?
He said the Pokemon manga is wild.
The Pokemon manga is way more wild than the anime or the game or the movies.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Hey, does that technically count as bestiality? I gotta ask.
Well, he wasn't like trying to do it in a sexual way. He was curious.
According to the Joker, there's no rules against the Pokemon Batman.
He was curious to see if how they felt because they're not real. He says that it's like touching glass, like smooth glass, basically.
That doesn't make it not bestiality.
Wow, it wasn't trying to have sex with it. But, yeah, that's what it is. And so, but yeah, basically we're getting kind of into the plot. I just kind of started, so there's not really much to report. But I did want to say that I tried this manga. I think the art is really good. I think the character styles are very appealing. I think that's been the strongest thing for any Pokemon adventures manga I've seen. The art style is just kind of great. And if you kind of want more like fun with the battles, because I know in the anime they kind of follow like the game logic of like, this character uses a move, and then this character counters. But in the manga, the trainers actually do get involved in the fights. So if you wanted to see that, that's actually pretty cool.
If you want to see the humans beat each other up just as much as Pokemon, go read the manga.
If a trainer needs to jump in and fight for their Pokemon's life, they will in the manga. Okay.
No.
So you're saying they stole from Digimon?
They did. They stole from Digimon. But yeah, like I said, there's not much to report. So I won't really waste you guys' time. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it enough. But will I recommend it wholeheartedly? We'll see when I finish it. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, then. I guess with that, we can move on to the next.
Okay.
You guys know the
Pull
usual
up Marvel
skit.
Unlimited, like I always do every week.
Look at all that ketchup.
I need to preface something before I talk about Avengers Academy issue 10. Okay, Marvel Voices Avengers Academy issue 10, aka The Pledge, whatever. Anyways, so I need to talk to you about something before I do this. So I was at work when this issue came out, and I was reading it. Right, I was just like skimming through it. We were vibing. Oh, R.I.P. Cryptid, I guess. He just does not like Aaron Fisher, guys. Just letting you know that right now. He's a hater for no reason. Anyways, so I was reading this at work. I was vibing, whatever. And I literally get to one part, and I'm not going to get too much into it, but all you need to know is I was like, gay sex? Like, I didn't say that loudly, but I said that in my mind. I was like, what the fuck is this? But in a good way. Anyways, let's get into it. So we cut over to some newscasting. It's like right after the attack of Oscorp, and all that jazz. We see this one guy named Marcus Wetherell. I don't know. Don't ask how to pronounce the last names. Anyways, so he's reporting the news with a DA, and we see Aaron is like, sounds like we should be helping the Six. And Carol's like, Aaron, come on. And Aaron's like, what? And Sheila's like, yeah, I pretty much agree. These companies suck ass. And so Lunella is like, did they say anything about Normie? Because, their teammate has been missing since most of them went to the beach, Like, we don't know where, like, they don't know where he is. Like, we know where he is, and that's the great irony of it. But regardless, so we cut back over to the news guy, and he was like, "Oh, we're coming live from an ongoing raid here," and he's like, "Oh my god, like, excuse me, Mr. Mysterian," and so Mysterian is like, "Oh hey, big fan, love the tie," and the reporter guy's like, "Oh my god, thank you. Like, would you mind telling us what this is all about?" And Mysterian's like, "Oh yeah, we are simply quote unquote stealing what nobody should have. You know, like, these medicines should be free, these weapons should be dismantled, they have appropriated our future and patented it." And the reporter guy's like, "And the child? What about little Stanley Osborn, abducted from Oscorp? Like, is that related or anything like that?" And Mysterian's like, "No comment." Because he didn't want to steal a child. That was Squid Kid's bullshit for some reason, because he just wanted the goblin formula so badly. This trust. Anyways, so we see the report, Squid Kid being like, "Then I shall speak," and the reporter is like, "Octopus Tween," and Squid Kid's like, "No, it's Squid Kid." Like, people like the Osborns believe that their blood makes them special, and Mysterian's like, "Oh my god, here we go again," you know, because this kid's annoying. Like, I've been keeping up with this book, and he's annoying. I was like, you're Lunala if she was annoying. If she was an annoying little brat. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, so Squid Kid's like, "Well, I'm going to extract it, bottle it, and then I'll put goblin serum up for sale for the market to decide." And basically, like, uses one of his his mechanical tentacles to wrap the reporter guy or whatever. And Squid Kid's like, I will level the playing field. No more gods, no more masters. This is a new age, and let us make ourselves anew." Kid, go play, like, League of Legends or something. Go play fucking Roblox like a normal kid. Jesus Christ. Go play Dress to Impress on Roblox. Anyways, so Mysterian is like, "Well, yeah, yes, well, we're still workshopping that. More unhinged aspect of the business model. Okay, R.I.P. Austin. It's only me and Jacofer, guys, and Mysterian." Anyways, and Mysterian's like, "Oh yeah, more unhinged aspect of the business model, you know. I'll send you a press release when we know. So wink wong, we'll see you later. Give love to mom." And Lunella's like, "Okay, we have to help. Red Goblin's out there all alone." And Justin is like, "Oh yeah, I'm with you, Moon Girl. Like, just tell me what to flatten." And Aaron looks over the couch, right? And he's like, "Red Goblin, don't you mean?" And so we see Normie come in. He's all, like, covered in red symbiote goop, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I did my best." You know, and you could just see it looks like blood, but it's not blood. It's just a symbiote, but it looks like blood. You know, so that works in his favor, I guess. And Sheila's like, "Oh my god, geez, an Osborn the whole time." And Brielle is like, "People aren't born evil. You know that, right?" And Sheila's like, "Okay, but, like, didn't they try to pat in water?" And Aaron's like, "Oh my god, Normie, like, are you okay?" And, like, he's, like, holding Normie while he's, like, going through it right now, covered in symbiote goop, while you see, like, his little the symbiote's little eyeballs just, like, dripping down. It's kind of funny, but kind of adorable at the same time, but not really. Anyways, so Normie is like, "Please, like, they have my brother. I couldn't do it alone. I don't care about me. I'm, like, rich trash ruining the world. A monster. Like, you're right, but he's innocent. Like, you have to go help him. Like, he's still innocent." And he's, like, crying. He's in tears. You know, he's going through it. And Justin's like, "Okay, geez, we gotta go save Stanley." And Lunella's like, "Okay, first we have to find the Sinister Six. I'll start looking for it." And Carol's like, "No. You know, despite what Tony Stark was frequent whining, the Avengers are not in the business for corporate private security. But you're right, there's now a kid missing. So, Normie, you rest. You kids stay here. Like, this is a school, not a superhuman response team," which finally someone says it. Fuck you, Charles, with your child soldiers over here. At least Carol is trying to protect these kids, even if they're not going to listen to her. Right, Jake? No? Okay, never mind.
Hang on, as I stumble over all the stuff in my room. That's right, Witch.
Exactly. Anyway, so he flies off, and she's like, okay, this is a school, not a superhuman response team. The Avengers will figure it out. And so all the kids are there, and Justin's like, okay, does anyone think that we're actually doing that? And Sheila's like, no, but we have to find them. And Aaron's like, well, actually, I do know someone. While Brielle is making sure that Normie's okay, he's resting, he's sleeping. His little symbiote is still dripping goop. Even though that doesn't make sense, but whatever. So yeah, Aaron's like, well, I've got to see a friend. I'll be right back. We cut to the this club called the Invisible Light from the other issue, and he walks into the back, and he's like, Kari, are you there? And you hear you see this voice bubble that's green and such, being like, who dares disturb my slumber, and summons hot mummies, bitch. And Aaron's like, geez, really? Why did it have to be mummies? I hate mummies. And he's like, Kari, cut it out. I just want to talk, And, hot mummies are doing hot mummy things. Have you not seen this shit online? Anyways, so Kari is kind of hugs him from behind, kinda. And he's like, boo, And Aaron's like, very funny. And Kari's like, well, you never called, you never text, but the towers of Babylon feel a tremor, and suddenly here you come again. Is that what an Avenger is? Just a glorified mall cop? Is that what a hero is? And Kari's still here, mostly naked, with just wearing bandages. Jake, have you ever done that to someone that you were interested in? Have you ever done that?
I've ever done what specifically?
Not the barely clothed with mummy wraps. You haven't done that yet?
I don't think I have. I can't really say that I have per se.
Okay. But you can see people doing that, though. You can see gay people doing that, because that seems very...
In this crazy world where anything's possible.
Fair enough. Anyways, so they embrace, kind of, and Aaron's like, so dramatic. And Kari's like, yeah, I'm a freaking Mysterio, dude. Have you seen the cape? And Aaron's like, I did text. And Kari's like, yeah, I know. I like the pictures best. Both of you to use close-ups. But I'm more of a surround 40x kind of guy, And it's like when I was first reading this, I was like, are you insinuating what I think you're insinuating? Jake, what do you think that they're going to do? What do you think these two are going to do? I want you to guess.
The fuck?
Okay. So, they're about to kiss. They embrace in a kiss. They do their thing. It's great. Anyways, so we cut over to the rest of the gang, the students. And Justin's like, Aaron's been gone a while. And Bree's like, yeah, sure has. And Justin's like, what do you think he's up to? Sheila's like, oh, buddy. And so Sheila's watching something on her phone. And it's that one Cherry Crane chick from the other issue, with that Wakandan vampire lady, remember her? And Brielle's like, God, is that Cherry Crane? Sheila, you follow her? And Sheila's like, okay, I don't, since Hexus bought the app. You can't even block anymore. And so, anyways, another person from off panel's like, hey, where does Lunella gone to? So we cut over to the lab, and where Brielle is like, Lunella, being calling her out, because she's basically kind of the mom friend of the group, I don't know who the dad friend is, but we definitely got a mom friend here, and it is Brielle, And the older students are looking after the younger students, so mostly just Normie and Lunella, because they are so young. Brielle, Sheila, Justin, and Aaron, they're all around in their late teens, early 20s. That's something we know. But Normie and Lunella are young teenagers, young to mid teenagers, when we first met Lunella, she was 10. Jake, do you know how old Lunella was when we first met her? Do you remember?
Not inherently. I'll just take your word for it, though.
I think Austin knows, but she was really young when she started her thing,
Yeah, I think Austin got disconnected.
Yeah, and Cryptid was like, "Fuck that! I'm a hater of this gay boy, this gay twink over here, who has the Captain America aesthetic on." You're such a hater, dude. Anyways, besides the point. So Lunella is doing her sciencey stuff, and she's like, I'm scanning for the usual energy surges, but Squid Kid must have be working off the power grid. I don't think any of the 6 are mutants, but just in case. Do you think Sheila would be mad if I built a scanner? Like, the X-Men have one, but it feels like, like, but if I smash it after, is that okay? I just don't wanna. And Brielle is like, I think you should take a break. Aaron has a lead. And Lunella, she's starting to freak out, Like, and she's like, but you don't get it, Brielle. I have to find Squid Kid. Like, he's my responsibility. And Brielle's like, why? And she's like, because he's like me. Like, I can easily end up like him. So many smart, good guys. Reed Richards, Hank Pym, Charles Xavier. They all end up doing such awful things. There you go, Jake. There you go. You got your Reed Richards being a shitty person reference.
Listen. It's always going to be there. It's always easy to find a reason for Reed to be shitty because he's a shitty man.
True that. Anyways, so Lunella's starting to cry. She's starting to have a small little panic attack. And she's like, what if someday I end up doing something bad? And Brielle reassures her that she won't, because she's a little genius, she's like, I'm not even one tiny bit afraid of you. Like, you're fine. And you start doing evil, you're gonna catch a holy earful, bestie. But she's definitely the big sister, mom friend of the group, because you need one of those, that's not a gender exclusive term. Anyways, so Lunella starts to feel a little bit better, and Brielle's like, it's true, one step out of line, I'll rummage you right up. Lunella, you better not, man, you better stop this minute, right now. Respect the delicate boundary between life and death, and she also was like, Lunella Lafayette, you better not be building a robot that will decide the end of all flesh is to come before it, not under my damn roof, and starts doing a mom thing, have that cute little older younger sister type of deal right there, which it was a really cute scene.
Right.
It's a really cute scene because you don't really get to see stuff like this between two black characters, two black girls, so I think that was a really cute scene. I do like the representation that we get in this book, because these are characters you wouldn't really see interact, but at the same time they're all young characters, so there would be a chance that some of them would interact. Anyways, so Brielle is like, okay, there's an ice cream place right outside the academy. I haven't even sampled the pistachio yet. And Lunelle's like, should we bring the others? And Brielle's like, we better. I've got a feeling Justin's about to get his sweet little heart broken. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, you're not wrong. Anyway, so we cut over back to Aaron, and you were right, Jake. They did bone. They boned for a while. Yeah, a mix of force fields and some illusion magic. They had some fun there, and it's it would be sweet, but I'll get to the implications of that later. So Aaron's like, what do we do now? And so Kari's like, we can still fight if you want, what's a few more bruises, but fair warning, I know all your weaknesses. And it's just mummies. It's just mummies.
Jeez.
Anyways, so Aaron's like, I'm right. I don't care about these fuck ass companies either. Pull the fire alarms and burn the place down for all I care, but no kid should get hurt. And Kari's like, yeah, Calvin's cracked. I didn't sign up for this. Okay, so here's the pledge. Tomorrow night at the docks, I'll disarm the sensors. You can bring your team. It'll be fine. And so we see this thing in the window, right outside the window. It kind of looks like a little squid thing. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Not yet, but I'll keep following.
Bitch. Anyways, so we see some bit of dialogue. If he keeps scrolling down on Marvel Unlimited, and this voice is and he'll never see us coming. So I don't know what this is implying, but do you think that Squid Kid watched Aaron Fisher and Kari have sex?
Why would he watch? Do you think he watched the whole thing, or just the first half,
or the back half? I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know, to be honest with you. But that's where the issue ends. I could not tell you how much he was watching, because that's still fucked if he was still watching them like in a intimate private act, you know?
Right. Like what a
like what? Like that's kind of concerning, bestie. Like I know that you're here for your evil schemes or whatever, but like come on. Like let them be intimate. Like I already have a feeling that Aaron's going to feel very betrayed, you know? And then at the same time, Justin's going to feel betrayed too because I think that he might have had a crush on Aaron. You know, it's going to be this weird love triangle thing that I don't know what's going to happen. I think this is what I think is going to happen tomorrow. Well, one of the things that could happen tomorrow because the next issue comes out tomorrow. As if I'm saying this, not as what the guys are living because they live on in a different place. This is what I think is going to happen. So the whole team's going to go to the docks, you know, and the rest of the Sinister Six is going to be there, you know. Aaron's going to feel betrayed for some reason because Aaron's going to feel betrayed at Kari because the rest of the Sinister Six there, even if Kari didn't know that they were going to be there, you know, regardless if he knew or not, he's going to feel betrayed. And the relationship between Aaron and Justin are going to get a little bit closer. Does that make sense? Do you see where I'm coming at with this?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Tex scripted to get his ass back in here so that we could talk about the next book.
Yeah.
Because it's his book.
Yeah. Or we could go to my book.
I mean, if you're talking about Captain America 12, go ahead.
Yeah, all right, guys. So I'm going to make up a plot for Captain America number 12 during our intermission.
So it's about Aaron Fisher.
Captain America number 12.
Mr. Aaron Fisher here.
Aaron Fisher and Sam Wilson.
Of the Railways.
Yeah, Aaron Fisher and Sam Wilson team up to fight Dr. Doom. Let's do that.
Dr. Doom and Squid Kid. There we go.
Yeah. Now, Dr. Doom, Sorcerer Supreme, is fighting Sam Wilson when Aaron Fisher shows up, throws a shield in his face, and Doom's like, how could you? You gods. Kirby's back. I was just redoing.
Yeah, we were just talking about Captain America 12.
Captain America.
I know you guys never read that, so
we were waiting for you to get back, so we made up a plot.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the next book, audience, and we're talking about my book, Captain America number 12. Okay, I think
Captain America number 12.
Yeah. Okay, I think I know what happened here. As you guys have been hearing me in the past couple issues, I haven't really been digging this specific arc. It's just all over the place. These mutants that Captain America is going to save and this and that. I feel like it's editorial who ended up coming into J. Michael Straczynski's run, because you guys remember, I love the first arc. You know, that was a breath of fresh air. I mean, the way Austin felt about reading Ultimate Black Panther, that's how I felt about reading that first arc of this run of Captain America, you know? But then this second arc about Steve having to go save these agents of change, right? It hasn't been sinking well. It just feels out of place. And, okay, so here's how the story goes, right? It opens up, it's Cap's job to kind of escort the three people he recruited. You know, he has to take them to the airplane so they could go, you know, back to their home base in the front door. You know, the front door being like a performance arts center for a bunch of abnormal people, you know, particularly mutants, you know. And it's at this point that I really started noticing more about this Lyra character. You know, she's the angel. She's the agent that's like, you know, having Steve go out recruit these people. Okay, she's white. She has long red hair. She has a green chest plate as her dress, and she has a yellow X across her chest.
That seems wrong. That seems like something bad's gonna happen.
No. I mean, like, who does that sound to you?
I have two people in mind at the moment.
I only have one. I only have one. Jean Grey. I'm like, wait.
No, I had other people too. Like,
the long red hair and the green chest plate with the yellow X on it.
There's a character that made a cameo in this one book that I like. who is like an
Mhm.
Irish superhero, and she has a very similar
Ah,
description with that. But besides the
Ban-
yellow X,
Banshee.
it's like a
Yeah,
different.
Banshee. Yeah.
No, I was talking
Um.
about Banshee. She made a cameo in Alpha Flight World Tour.
Oh, okay, gotcha. But anyway, again, keep in mind she's the one who's having Steve go out to all these people to go and save and recruit and bring to her home base, right? I just feel like editorial just came up to Johnny Michael Straczynski and said, "Okay, yeah, your first arc was pleasant, but we need you to do the whole mutant thing. We need you to add these mutants. We need you to make this an X-Men book. I mean, for God's sakes." The opening intro, giving the description of this book, right? It's literally saying like, Captain America, um, he has to look for more Ages of Change members and giving a description of every one of them, every one of them being a mutant, right? And even by the end of this book, where we get a description of the next arc, right? Here, let me read this to you, right? The description for the next book. As the Krakoan era ends, mutants need allies more than ever, and Captain America is determined to get this group of mutants change agents to the front door. I'm like, wait, so this book is now being a fallout from Krakoa? Are you really?
Yeah,
Uh, Captain America's own book?
yeah.
Oh, whatever. I'm like, okay, so another thing that's going on in this book is you remember there's like this demon guy who's like the embodiment of death. Well, now he took form, right? And I gotta say, I kind of like his entrance. Like, he's, as you would expect, he's dressed in all black, long black hair. You don't see his face, you just see the back of his body. He's wearing a dark trench coat. You see like the plants around him are just dying, being sucked of life. And this one just innocent bystander who's just doing a jog ends up passing him by, and the guy and Def is like, "I have a gift for you," as he just gives him one tap on his shoulder, and the guy just falls and dies.
Deadly
And
Ernest, you're back. Well,
I,
if you don't know, Deadly Ernest was a small Alpha Flight villain who had a very similar power to that. Just wanted to let you know. I fucking
okay,
Deadly
gotcha.
Ernest. I'm gonna lose my mind.
But he goes on to say, "I give you a gift, freedom from the pain and struggle." I'm like, damn. That I thought was a good premise. Like, Captain America having to go up against somebody who could literally who was a literally one touch KO. So Captain America's going to need a defense now more than ever. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, as Captain America's on the plane, of course he's giving everybody like these rings that were given to him by Lyra, that angel, that Jean Grey stand-in, and all the rings are supposed to protect them from evil, right? Except for that one girl, the one who's secretly a spy for Death, and her ring ends up burning her, so she has to take it off. So yeah, all goes. They land. They're continuing their travels to the front door. Fortunately, Death ends up controlling the minds of this town that they're passing by, uh, giving them a bit of his power, and they're all going to have to. They're all ordered to basically kill Captain America and the rest of the people he's protecting as the issue ends. Yeah, again, I've been talking to several people over the past week about this, and it does feel like Marvel just doesn't want Captain America's books to succeed in, Steve being the spotlight and all that stuff. That's why the second arc just feels completely out of place. I mean, you guys remember when I was talking about Captain America Ghost Army a few weeks back, right? Yeah, that was
Yeah.
dealing with that was dealing with paranormal stuff. That was dealing with Sorcerer Supreme stuff, but it still felt like a Captain America book. This doesn't feel like Captain America. You're dealing with the concepts of death and angel. Okay, you can make that blend in with Cap, but then you're also dealing with mutants and that stuff. Okay, now this is okay. How's this a Cap book again? Oh boy. Well, again, what can you do? Is
You
what
can
it
only
is.
do so much.
Mhm. Marvel needs to put Jed McKay on Cap's book. He's done so great with him over the years. I keep praising how he's written Cap in the several runs. I mean, you guys remember when I was talking about the Blood Hut Avengers tie-in, right? Dude,
Yeah.
that was the most amped up I got reading Captain America in a while. Like, oh, that hit all the fields, that hit all the voice, the patriotism, the spirit, the heroic spirit, and all that stuff. This, I'm just confused as to what had to have happened backstage, back in the
Yeah,
in the
you can
round
blame
table.
editorial for most of your problems.
Pretty much, yeah. At what point, like you read a bad book, right? Which, at what
All the
point
time.
do you have? Yeah, at what point do you have to put some of the responsibility on the editorial for that? You know?
Yeah, how do you think I feel about a lot of choices that were made? I blame editorial for
hmm
canceling X Factor, bitch.
Yep.
That
I mean,
book was
I,
good, but no, that
I,
last issue was ass.
I mean, yeah, I have it like on good note that the editor, I don't want to name her name, but she was the one who got so excited by Jackson Lanzing and Colin Kelly's pitch for Captain America. The one where they retconned his shield to be racist in origin. That she's like, okay, you two are going to be on Captain America's book. You guys would do fantastic. And that book got canceled. It flat out got canceled. It was so bad it got canceled. 12 issues. It basically went through the last Black Panther treatment. So again, it's disappointing, but hopefully this arc will be over in another issue too. I mean, I know this series is still continuing on. I did remember seeing in one of the solicits that Steve is going to be teaming up with Thor in an upcoming issue. So, hopefully that means we can get out of this whole Agents of Change storyline. So, crossing my fingers for that. So, all right, there we go. That's it for my book. Now we can move on to the next one. Hold on a sec. Jake.
Yes, it is time to finally finish the origin story of the Toa Mata. With Bionicle, The Coming of the Toa. I finally finished the book. 28 chapters, okay,
Mm-hmm.
of content. And I gotta say, the back half was
Good
actually
Lord.
really enjoyable.
Good Lord, man.
I actually really did like the Toa's dynamics when they started working more together. Kopaka and Tahu's rivalry was hilarious to me because Kopaka continually loves to see Tahu suffer. It's kind of funny. For instance, there's a scene where Tahu and Gali had an argument because they were trying to hunt a mask together, and Gali wanted to think of like a secure way of doing it. And Tahu's like, "I'm just gonna burn the tree down," and he burned the tree, and like the next tree's over, and Gali was like, "Oh yes, I guess we did get the mask." And then you burned the tree, the forest, and the homes of the animals that lived in there. And Tahu was like, I just got the mask. I don't know why you're making such a big deal about it. So when they come back, Kopaka sees Gali and Tahu are not getting along, and his monologue reads, "I'm actually really happy to see they don't like each other because that means Tahu had a bad day." I was like, okay. But it's things like that I really enjoyed. The Toa finally coming together and bouncing off of each other was really nice. And the final battle was kind of epic. I said this before, and it really highlights now. I like how the Matoran, who are like the civilian class and everything, they understand that the Toa are the heroes, that they have to, fight Makuta. But that doesn't mean that they're just going to be damsels for the Toa to save all the time. If they can save themselves, they will. And if they can help the Toa, they will. And while the Toa are having their final battle against Makuta, the Matoran are like outside the temple where the Toa are. And they're fighting off an army of like Rahi Beast. So the Toa can come back safely, basically. And the battle was pretty epic on both sides with the Toa and the Matoran alike.
Squad helps.
Squad helps, yes. We also have some. We also get more on our main character for the Matoran side. He was just called so the Matoran that you follow in the story, he's supposed to be you, but he's also his own character. By the time we get to the movies, he'll be known as Takua. In the books, he's just known as the Chronicler. a wanderer of the Matoran lands, helping out where he can, basically telling the stories of the Toa and all that stuff, basically. But we also get to see him come into his own and become a leader, and everyone's like, okay, well, like, yeah, you might not have a home, but you're more than welcome to be here on Montanui, basically.
Would you want to live on Montanui, Jake?
Not at this time, because every day they're running for their lives against like beasts possessed by the devil.
Hey, they lasted this long, Jake, so they must be doing something right, all right?
It's true. That is true. And also the Makuta battle. So so in my last review, I said that I don't think Makuta was a good villain. I take that back. The scene where the Toa actually fight him is actually kind of horrifying. So the Toa have been building up in their heads this moment where they have to fight Makuta, and they've been like preparing and getting all their powers right and all this stuff. And when they go into the chamber, they just see a Matoran, but basically this is like an adult waiting to fight the devil, but the devil's like a tiny kid, and they're like, oh, you're just like some kid. Like we were trying to fight like the ultimate evil, and you're just like a child. And he's like, well, why wouldn't I be a child? I am representative of all of you. I am the darkest parts of every one of you here on this island. But were you expecting something a bit more grander, something like this? And he explodes into a creature of shadow, like this Lovecraftian creature almost, basically. Yeah, that's all like, what the fuck?
I think like anyone with a rational sense of brain can be like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, and the Toa kind of get bodied by Makuta for the longest time, basically, to the point where they have to combine all their powers together to subdue him. But even though they win the battle, Makuta's like, well, you didn't really kill me, because as long as there's a shadow in this world, I will always exist.
Shadow. It's
me. Shadow the Hedgehog is here.
The devil.
But as long as there is darkness on this world, I will always exist. So you can never really kill me. So it is what it is. But we do get a teaser for the next arc.
I am Shadow.
Yeah.
The Hedgehog.
We do get a teaser for the next arc, though, which I am excited for because I never got to see this arc, but it's when the toys started ramping up. Next, the Toa will be fighting the Boracal, which are robots. My understanding, there are robots designed to kill all life, regardless of what it is, basically.
You said they're called the Boracal?
Yeah, the Boracal, I think you pronounce it, or the Borakai, one of those two.
Okay, gotcha.
But they are designed to eliminate all life, no matter what it is. As long as it can breathe and sentient, they will kill it, basically. And so we have a teaser for them showing up in the next arc and the next book. But for now, the Toa have saved the day. The Rahi have been vanquished, and at long last, the Matoran can finally live out seemingly normal lives as the Makuta gears up for his next challenge for the Toa. So, that was Bionicle, the coming of the Toa. Like I said, it's a good introduction to this world, a lot of good world building, and seeing the Islanders as people, I think was the strongest aspect of this book. Getting to know the island of Motunui and its inhabitants and the rich lore. I think it's a good foundation for new readers, basically. And you can read this all for free. Just look at the Bionicle website. Actually, I have it pulled up here. Crosswired Geeks. They have this and all the other Bionicle books out there for you guys. I am excited to continue the journey. I am hoping that I can get at a reasonable date. I'm hoping to get to the Toa Ignika saga because that is my favorite saga in all of Bionicle, and I kind of want to read it now. But yeah, like I said, great story, Bionicle. Great story, great saga.
Slay.
Take it, audience. Give it a chance. So, alrighty then. I guess with that, we can move on to the next one.
Again. We can take to the next one. Hello. I'm gonna be talking about MOOM One World, which is a prequel comic to an audio drama. If you want to listen after this, this little prelude comic, if you're actually interested in listening to the audio drama, you can look it up. You can look up the website online. Just letting you know, it's with zeros, not with O's. Just letting you know. So basically, the gist is, at first, which is also on the back, by the way, it's in the future, And basically this evil techno-organic superpower is putting these like chips into people's brains, and about 80% of the population has been chipped, and basically they are now slaves to it. And the 20% of people who aren't chipped are basically on kind of not on the run, but they're part of a resistance, and so they all live in shipping containers around the world. So that's the gist of the plot. Let me get into it. Okay, let's get into it, besties. Anyways, so it's 2068 in LA. We see these armored cop people with like these little infinity sign things on the sides of their heads. That's the sign that they've been shipped.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. So like I said, they're basically like slaves to this like techno-organic superpower or whatever. And
Gotcha.
if you're wondering, they're called F8 Clarity. Just letting you know that.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, one of them is giving like this call that's like, if you're hearing this, that means you've been issued with the latest F8 Clarity militarized technology. Like if you'd like to reach a supervisor, think supervision, like supervisor. Basically that's what the chip does. You think of something and then like that will happen.
Mm-hmm.
And basically all these like militants, I guess you could say, are basically like all unchipped combatants have been chipped or eliminated. Not all of them, but whatever, because plot reasons. And so basically that's the job of these guys. So they basically have to find all the unchipped people and either kill them or get them chips. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so basically we see that bit of a battlefield, So we come, and their text is red. Just letting you know that now. These guys' text are red. So we cut over to some green text. It's great. We love the green text. Anyways, so basically the green text people explain that F8 promised like freedom through like this F8 clarity thing to unlock the full potential of the human mind. Initially, no one predicted that it would conquer the world, but guess what, besties? It did. So they used basically all the technology that they can get their hands on to like use the people and get all their information and get them all chipped. And it's like when they offered like most conform to their ideals. They got the chips, but other people were like, "Do I really want it? Not really." So yeah, those guys decided to live in shipping containers on like shipping ports, and like they stayed off the grid. So that they take basically those guys, like they were basically dismissed and ridiculed because no one wanted to take their advice that this was a bad idea. Because if you know anything about AI, it could be used really badly if not used correctly. Anyways,
of course.
So yeah, basically they took advantage of society's division. These like this like F8 clarity people. They're like, oh yeah, they're like promised a better like a perfect tomorrow, and basically had the opportunity to put brain implants in people. So like what Elon Musk wants to do. That's why I made that joke earlier. Anyways, so yeah, this person who is talking, like the narrator in this case, is basically like, oh yeah, looking back on it, yeah, it was almost like a little too obvious that a corporation with such a stronghold is taking over the world. Like, duh, But eventually, like more, so yeah, more and more unchipped people have been starting to see the truth. So yeah, they basically took away the ability to doubt them, and they were forced. And so a war started, and then forced like the chipping or whatever that is. We'll figure it out later. So we see this one person who's like starting like a little bit of like, basically like getting a whole bunch of people on the side of like the non-chipped people so that they don't become slaves, But guess what?
Yeah.
That same person, gets captured by these like militarized people and basically is forced to get chipped, unfortunately. So yeah, that sucks. Anyways, so we basically sees a news announcer or whatever, newscaster who has light blue text, like baby blue text, is like, oh yeah, her crimes include like referring to One World as Earth, conspiring against the F8, and being in a foreign region without an FA clarified passport, like
wow.
Fate has issued a statement, regarding it. And so we see this like bartender guy turn off the TV and is like, can't watch. And we see our main character. Her name is Gold Star, if you were curious, even though she has no gold on her body at all. She's mostly blue and pink. Just letting you know that. Just if you were curious. And she's like, oh yeah, I hate seeing what they're doing to us. 80% of the population can't even think for themselves, man. It's pure insanity. Don't you feel the same? And the bartender is like, hey, I just listen. Like, your tab's too high for that, even though you just drink soda most of the time, Like, I'm not technically paid to talk about how I feel, but it's fine. Yeah. Like, I've got a job. If you're up to it, like, go get your friend, like your neighbor friend. And she's like, okay, his name's Kevin, but I'll talk to him about it, but I'll doubt he'll want in. And the bartender guy's like, I may not get paid to say this, but I've got an eerie feeling that things will get worse before they get better. Keep in mind, this is a prologue comic. There is an audio drama that you can listen to on their website. Just letting you know that now. And another thing, I'm not getting paid to say this. I'm just letting you guys know if you guys are actually interested. I'll post about it later. Don't worry about it. Anyways, we cut over to the newscaster, and they talk about this meteorite that crashed onto Earth. Like about these like fragments they scattered around, and they're like, if you got hit, if you or someone got injured, just like say report injury, and they'll figure it out, And to my knowledge, we don't know if anyone's chips have been actually like fried or broken or whatever, so we don't know what happened to those people because this is just a prelude comic. But I will listen to the audio drama later, and then I'll get back to you on that later when I get to it. Anyways, so we see this one guy who's a part of the F8. He's probably one of like the big guys, the big bad guys, and he's like, okay, our surveillance had found that the meteors had cracked upon entering the atmosphere. They were emitting this like strange glow, this like, and basically he's like, no, sir, like I haven't seen any signs of it yet. It's like, we got to wrap it up here. We'll like search here next. He's like pointing over to be like, oh, search over here, search over there. Try to get as much information on this glowing meteorite goop thing,
Yeah.
And so we see this one shipping container that's slowly starting to get covered by this neon blue goop. Okay. Keep that in mind. You see where I'm going with this?
Neon blue, all right.
All right, stay with me. Jake, you with me on this? Glowing blue goop on a shipping container. You with me?
Did you say step that for a bit?
Okay, cool. Thanks, Jake. Anyways, so one of the text bubbles says failure to adhere to this request will result in a criminal offense leading to an immediate arrest and possible rehabilitation. You get the gist. If you're not chipped, you will get chipped or die. That's basically the gist of it. So basically, we see Gold Star in her shipping container home, and she's like, like more chipless and F8, like ruining the world. Like, I mean, not chipless, chippings. That's what they're called. I don't know. Okay. It doesn't roll off the tongue for some reason, in my personal opinion, but I'll probably get used to it. I didn't read it right. I don't have a lot of light in my room right now. Anyways, so she's basically on like Discord kind of, but for unchipped people. And she's like, possible F8 coin exploits. Wouldn't that be nice? And she sees something. She sees some interesting news. She's like agent sightings, meteorite damage. Like after falling to Earth at around 3:39, F8 began an excavation of multiple impact sites. Like she's like, what could they be after? Because like who wouldn't be intrigued? She's like what happened while I was asleep? Like did the Terminator come back or something? Reference. And so she keeps looking on this, and she's like, the unchipped people of the internet have never failed. She keeps looking around, but she can't find any information until she finds another report. But it's not like near where she lives, because she lives in a shipyard in a shipping container in LA. So she doesn't think that anything's gonna happen to her at the moment. Anyways, right. Remember that guy with the mask and the white hair from earlier that was telling people what to do at that excavation site? Well, he's at this shipping yard. And he gets a message from someone. He's like, oh yeah, me and my team are searching. Like, I'll update you when I get information. You know, like something that's been brought to my attention, but I'll deal with it immediately. Don't worry about it. Sorry for ending this conversation, but I'll get back to you on this. So he sees some of this blue goop and he gets like a vial. He puts the blue goop in the vial. You know, he was like, aren't you fascinating? Like, whatever secrets must you hold? Like, they must be very important. So, anyways, Goldstar is chilling out, you know, on her bed. She's like, no responses from any of the posts yet. Like, what's taking them so long? Like, they're usually on it, you know? And she's like, nope, nope, nope. And she's like, wait, what's this? And she notices that she learns that an F8 agent has been searched like at the LA port that she lives in. And she's like, oh, one of these meteorites crashed where I live. Oh my God. Like, I have to go check this out. So she tells like her little robot friend Roger to turn on the lights. And she's like chilling out, you know. She's about to go leave and figure this out. And she's like, I must be seeing things. I need more sleep. And yeah. So all the lights are turned on. Like, all of the lights are turned on. And so she starts seeing this blue goop. You know, she's like, what the hell? Like, what is this glowing? Like, what is this glowing coming from? You know, and she's like, turn off all the lights. And the little robot's like, Roger, got it. And then she's like, okay, then. Roger, turn on the lights. And so basically, she's like, what the hell? Like, what is this stuff? Like, this was never mentioned. Like, should I post a picture? Yes. Yes, you should post a picture. What are you talking about? So we see that FA agent with his vial of blue goop, a blue glowing goop. Because, yeah. And he's like, okay, hello, I got the things. Like, there isn't much, but I got some of the goop. Like, but I think it's enough to get a full reading. I'll keep searching. Bye. You know? And he's like, yes, of course, that's an order. Like, get over here now. You know, he's getting his squad. And so some of the blue goop falls on Goldstar's head. And she, like, gets him on her hand. She's like, what the hell? Like, no. Like, what the hell is this? And so she's like, Roger, turn off the lights. So she posts a picture of the blue goop. And she's like, does anyone know what the hell this is? You know? And we see this one comment being like, lol, did the aliens, like, come looking for it? Like, your container? And so she's coming out. She's like, aliens, huh? Doubt it. And so at the end, you could see the MOOM logo just, like, pull up on the side of her shipping container. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, these are alien possessed shipping containers. So, yeah. It was a pretty good little prelude comic. Like I said, I do want to listen to the audio drama on their website. I think they have it on YouTube as well. But yeah, it was really good. The people who actually made the comic and made the website, audio drama, and now the game that debuted at Tucson Comic Con, which I haven't been able to play yet, but I will get on that soon when I get more storage on my phone. Working on it. Anyways, so yeah. Like, I'm gonna preface this again for anyone curious. I'm not getting paid to say any of this. I actually did want to talk about this when I saw it because the premise seemed really cool. I went to their panel when they talked about it, so yeah. It seems like a very interesting premise.
But feel free to pay us to talk about the book.
No one pay us for right now. Okay, no one pay us. Anyways, but if you want to go support them, you can just look up MOOM World or M00M World. You can go watch / listen to their audio drama. You can download their game, but if you have an iOS, make sure it's updated to like iOS 17 or something. And make sure you have storage on your phone because I don't have storage on my phone to do the update, so I can't actually play it yet. But once I do, I'll let you guys know because it's a very cute looking game and I'm really hyped. So yeah, go support MOOM World. If you're cool. I also have a bag that I got. It's black and pink, so it's really cool. And if you enjoy the idea of alien shipping containers and a resistance force, go read this prelude comic and go listen to the drama and go get the game. Yeah, that's it. Anyways.
And if there's one thing you all want to take away from this, hey, keep caution if you ever want to implant something in your brains, you know?
Yeah, Elon.
That's going to be the next app. Just watch. We'll get to that point, society.
Yeah. I guess I'm going to be a part of a resistance force because I don't want that shit.
Gotcha. But all right, then. With that, let's move on to next. Also, Jake, you read Fantastic Four this week, right?
I read 2 different books and they were both long, so no.
Okay. So this will be the last book of the night, then, audience. Hold on a sec. Okay, Deadpool Team Up #1. Now, I just bought this because of the variant. Like, they're doing like screenshot variants of the Deadpool Wolverine movie, and yeah,
I
anybody
hate
knows
the
me.
cover. I'm sorry.
Yeah, anybody who knows me knows I have like a little rocky relation with Rob Liefeld over the years, which ironic's coming from a guy who really loves Deadpool. Artwork, you've been around the game as long as Rob Liefeld has. He draws with what people expect of him. Why improve when you're making money off of that, right? But anyway, supposedly this is gonna be his last run on Deadpool.
I
Yeah,
I highly doubt it. I'm sorry.
I know. I mean, wasn't Dan Slott's last run on Spider-Man like 5 years ago? Wasn't Scott Snyder's final issue of Batman like 10 years ago? And look, look where we're at right now. So I don't believe that until the day comes where Rob. Don't want to say it, but still, it's still in the field for Rob to come by and do another Deadpool book on. Is what I'm
Did you
trying to
get
say.
the main cover or did you just get a
No,
variant cover?
I just got the variant cover, the one that was a screenshot.
Okay. Just send me the
So
picture later because I want to see what that looks like.
gotcha. But anyway, so as this issue starts off, it's Deadpool. There's a lot of action in this book, but just nothing to settle down with. Deadpool is with this one guy called the Dragon Lord, and they're facing off against this one dragon who's like, apparently, I will devour a world. And I kind of like Deadpool's little quip right here. He's saying, "Oh, that should be a hell of a barbecue, then." Yeah, that's what I was really missing when it came to the last run of Deadpool by Rob Liefeld, which was Bad Blood. I didn't laugh at all at that book. There was nothing, no jokes that landed or anything like that. Audience, again, you gotta remember the Deadpool you all love, the Deadpool that makes billions of dollars, the one that makes all the merchandise. Yeah, that is not the version of Deadpool that Rob Liefeld made. There were other writers who contributed to making Deadpool the person that we all know and love. So, all right. So he fights a dragon. That's when you get like a flashback to Deadpool fighting ninjas. Apparently, he did something to screw all of them. So yeah, he has to kind of fix things. But then that's when we get introduced to Lady Anime. Let me bring up her picture. Do. Yeah, apparently Lady Anime was a character Rob Liefeld created in his last Deadpool story. Don't know too much
Ask
about her.
Can I ask a
So
question?
go ahead.
Why? Just why?
Oh, just
So,
why does it exist?
yeah,
Yeah.
you want credit for a creator, or for a character,
No, I just want a
Eh,
fucking book, and this doesn't look good.
yeah, I know. She has like a chibi form and a regular person form, just to let y'all know.
Just go
So,
to the regular person form. Don't do that chibi shit if you're not gonna make it look good.
gotcha. But anyway, so she's basically telling Deadpool, yeah, you're screwed, but the only way that could save your ass from the ninjas are one dragon egg, this specific dragon egg. So okay, Deadpool's like has to look for a dragon egg, and that's how he um, comes across. What was his name? The Dragon Lord, who knows how to get that dragon egg. But before Dragon Lord can help him about that, Dragon Lord needs to get his magical staff that was taken away from him by one of his enemies called the Baron, and who has a dragon of
Isn't
his
it too
own.
late to be introducing new characters?
I know, I know. I think this whole run is just an excuse for Rob to draw the characters he wants to draw. That's why he feels so random when you see on the cover, right? Let me go back to the cover.
Literally, he put like whoever at this point, like
Yeah.
Kristar. Bitch,
Yep.
I
Who's
haven't read like most people haven't even heard of Crystar, and the people who have, they were like, "Oh yeah, he had one book in the '80s and a couple toys and an Alpha Flight crossover in the last issue."
Exactly. I mean, heck, Spider-Gwen is in here, and like, what does she have to do with Deadpool?
Also, is she actually in the book?
She's not in this issue, but you could assume she's going to be popping up later in this series. But alrighty then. So yeah, so the Baron comes up and he's like, "Oh, what I want is my family's honor to be restored." So you get what's happening right here, right? This kind of reminds me of that Looney Tune episode with the Chicken Hawk, where he wants to catch a chicken, right? But the dog agrees to help him. But first, the Chicken Hawk needs to get the dog a bone. Okay, so the Chicken Hawk goes looking around and he finds a cat who has a bone. But he says, "Okay, I'll give you the bone if you give me a fish." So now the Chicken Hawk has to go find a fish, and you know that sort of deal, you know. So Deadpool needs an egg. All right, the person who can help him find that egg needs his magic stick, and the person who has his magic stick needs his family honor back, and this and that, you know. So anyway, fight commences, and all of a sudden Wolverine pops up. Like, what? He just pops up out of nowhere.
Here, you already have $1 million.
Yeah. Why not, right? Well, you can kind of understand it because, like, this is, I guess, Rob Liefeld is just trying to build off like the movie. You know, it's still relevant. It's only been a little bit over a month since it got released. You know, but
Here.
yeah. Regardless, they get the staff out of the Baron's hands and they give it back to the Dragon Lord, and it ends up transforming him into Crystar. Crystar, yeah. Okay, so as the issue ends. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I think this is just Rob Liefeld having fun and wanting to get a chance to draw the characters he hasn't drawn in a while, you know?
I get it, but at the same time. His art is not good. I don't care if all the Rob Liefeld fanboys are going to come after me for this. I don't care. I don't like his art. His art does not look good.
Yeah, it's bad.
Someone who also was self-taught.
Hey, like it's bad, but funny enough, he just makes money off of how bad his art is. Imagine getting to that point in your career, you know?
I think, like, Jim Lee has like improved as an artist over time, you know, and all that other stuff. This bitch, what the fuck is he doing?
I know he's going back.
What the? This is the guy who would block me on Twitter for being like, Shatterstar is queer. Get used to it. I don't care if he's gonna backtrack that, bitch. I don't care. He's like said what he said, man, and he has to live with the consequence.
Yep. So, yeah. Again, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but he just doesn't write the Deadpool that I enjoy, you know?
No, because all he did was create the character. He didn't actually make the character the character.
Yeah, funny enough, like, you know, he doesn't even get full credit for creating the character since he created him as a ripoff of a DC character, you know? So, it's kind of funny when you think of it that way. Again, it was other writers that made Deadpool the success that he is today, and it's just Liefeld who gets the credit as the sperm donor, basically, you know? So
acting like he's like the father, bitch. Sperm donor, man.
Yep. It's like you fathered a child, but that child gets raised by other parents, and that child becomes a success, and you're the one getting all the credit for that. Like, I raised my boy right. No, you didn't. You
didn't do jack and shit.
You
know who did jack and shit? Me. More than Rob Liefeld has ever done. And I don't even care too much about most of the characters he makes.
And he'll still charge $100 for an autograph at conventions.
You know, I met Doug Jones over the weekend, and even though his prices were a lot, you know, at least he was like nice, and he actually makes stuff that people like.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, not Liefeld does have that infamous record of being a little bit difficult to work with, to put it nicely, but is what it is, you know. If this is his last run,
Thank-
whatever. I mean, I don't think he really has any more good bangers of a run left in him.
At least he
For
doesn't
Manga-
put Shatterstar in this book. Thank fuck.
just wait, which wait, I think
No,
he
I don't want to
I
wait.
wait, I think he drew a female Shatterstar in one of his other Deadpool runs
He did, but no
recently.
one really cares.
Yeah, just like Major X.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. Which
Who the fuck
number
is
one,
that?
remember he was supposed to be the big deal. He's the guy in the bottom left hand corner of his cover.
Oh, that's who that was? Still don't
Yeah,
know.
I know, right? He was supposed to be a big deal with Rob Liefeld coming back into Marvel a couple years ago, but nobody uses that character. I mean, for God's
Yeah, no
sakes.
one uses most of these characters anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of characters that a lot these artists like create or whatever, they don't really. A lot of them don't tend to get used after the creator finishes the book.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I
let me
mean, it
give an
just
example. A lot, not all, but a lot of the new characters that are made for like Marvel Pride or whatever, they don't really get used. Some of them get
exactly,
lucky and they get used, like
I'm just,
Escapade and Aaron
mhm.
Fisher, Captain America. But
um,
like,
I'm still pissed off that we never got to see that She-Hulk. You know the one I'm talking about, right?
I'm
That one trans.
talking about maybe in the future, but at
Mm-hmm.
this very moment, no.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them don't get used, even if they seem like interesting characters.
Yep. Yep. But yeah, it's what it
Just
is.
like, who really cares about a lot of these characters if we're not really gonna see them later on? Like, I'm surprised he put Crystar in this fucking book.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't
I
been relevant in years and decades.
I guess that's just him trying to bring up a surprise appearance, you know?
Like, if I hit up Philly and I'm like, hey, do you know who Crystar is? He might say no, honestly. Like, I know who Crystar is because I read the Alpha Flight crossover.
Mm-hmm.
That's because I like Alpha Flight. I don't care about Crystar. Alpha Flight is
Mm-hmm.
way more prominent as a thing than Crystar ever was. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, at least I've heard of Alpha I've never heard of Chris Star before this, you know? So.
Exactly, man.
Mhm.
Exactly. Like, even if we do like these characters, we still acknowledge that they're kind of irrelevant.
Yep. That's true. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say for this book. And yeah, with that audience, that's it for tonight. Yay, we got through a whole episode.
Yeah, we did.
Yay, besties.
First time doing making it 2 hours in a while. So,
So,
all right.
if you want to continue seeing more of us, we have a playlist of all our movie reviews where we talk about things like Deadpool,
Aquaman.
Aquaman, Deadpool, uh,
I'm there for the
Dragon
Aquaman.
Prince, and other stuff that I'm probably forgetting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
Audience.
go support MOOM World, please, because they are really cool people.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So, anyway, audience, we'll see you all next time. See
Bye.
ya.